back. It's Drakeen again. So now we're going to be talking about Beyond20. Um, you want to go to this site here, um, and this can be used um, for Firefox as well, but I only know about Chrome, so that's what I'm going to tell you guys about. After you download it, your character sheets should look like this. You should see these little buttons on your character sheet. Um, and what this allows you to do is just point and click. If you want to cast Chill Touch, you uh, just press this button and the result will pop up in Roll20. Roll to 13, it shows you, the roll plus your to hit and your damage. Because of the settings I've already set up here. If you want to cast something else, say Thunder Wave, same thing. And that sound you heard is what we talked about, one of the optionals here in the volume. So it couldn't be more straightforward, which is one thing that's even cooler. Say Rayanne had a familiar. You can add that here in D&D Beyond. Just, choose the familiar. Popular one is Tressum. Add the familiar. Click on the sheet for the familiar, and it'll have all these buttons here. Now, when you press these buttons, it'll show this effect in D&D Beyond, like if you need to see something in D&D Beyond. Okay, so this is the ability it's using. If sometimes the DM's like, okay, your familiar is doing what? They're detecting invisibility. Show me, can you paste that in chat for me? Show me that ability. And that's what you would do. We just go to the sheet. If they were going to roll attack, you can just roll here. Why would you have your familiar with attack for 1 damage? I don't know, but yeah, you get the point. So they rolled a 7, probably wasn't worth it, right? Other things you can do on the character sheet. Now, most of these buttons show up in actions. They're not going to show up in spells. They're not going to show up in... But the other things you can do is you can show the spell descriptions by clicking on the spell itself, scrolling up to the top, and say display in VTT or cast on VNT. I think it does the same thing. VTT is virtual tabletop, which is what Roll20 is. So you can see how pretty cool this is. I mean, with one click, you don't have to do math, you don't have to do anything. Beyond20 takes care of it. So even cooler, if, say, Ran had Warcaster and wanted to make an attack of opportunity using Booming Blade, you could click on the blade itself, and it'll show the cantrip that it's casting. So you click here to attack, and that will show your to hit, your dagger damage, and then, Booming Blade if you move, I believe, is what it says here. Yes, Thunder, Booming Blade. And that's cool. I mean, it couldn't be more useful. In addition, say you have monsters, say you bought Out of the Abyss. So this is one of the characters from Out of the Abyss, Asha Vangerie. She's the underling of the main villain. She's a priestess of Lolth. Now, Out of the Abyss was, it was written in 2015. So you can see, this is her stat block. These are her spells. These are, a lot of things have come out since, 2015. You might want to update that, right? So what I ended up doing is creating my own character sheet for Asha. She's in dire need of a makeover, and you can change all that stuff really quick by just making a character sheet for her. And now you've gotten buttons for her attacks. You save her up here in one of your tabs, and then you can see she's got a few more hit points, a few more spell options, blah 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 blah. And then you can roll from here into Roll20, and it shows you her name here, Asha Vandry. And it's just a more dynamic way of changing it from this. This, if you want to change it, you'd have to like create a homebrew version of it and then change the stat block manually. That's why this sheet in D&D Beyond is really so powerful. Even more, D&D Beyond, Asha's a priestess of wealth. To my knowledge, nobody's released the spider domain yet, so I created a homebrew spider domain just to show you real quick. You know, talks about priestess of wealth. They must be female. Any elite evil alignment. These are the spells. Agonizing Demise is actually the spell Black Hand from Deep Magic. I just renamed it. I thought it needed a cooler name. Sorry. This is from Deep Magic. And I believe the others you all know. The others are pretty familiar. Gave her, made all the poison cantrips, cleric cantrips. They get Proficient in Poisoner's Kit, Undercommon, Blade Venom, that sort of thing, Poison Mastery, more details, and at 17th level they can summon a Yaklul. So, it's more tailored to the domain, and her spells are more tailored to Lolth. What I don't really see Lolth in these spells. Do you? And this ability, Divine Eminence, okay, it's a fine ability. It doesn't really, I just don't see Lolth here. And Lolth is, if you're playing Out of the Abyss, Lolth is kind of a big deal, right? So that's kind of the power of D&D Beyond, and that's kind of the power of Beyond20. So even more details about Beyond20, you'll see this button up here also. Once you've downloaded Beyond20 and made it active, you have to make it up here in your in Chrome. You'll see this button. It has even more options in here. But I will save that for another video. All right, take care.